Quaile was arrested for trafficking heroin from the Blue Heeler bar in the Australian Hotel in Cairns for a short period of time during October and November 1986. He was charged with trafficking and not merely with supply. There is a difference between the two, in the sense that trafficking is really about the operation of a drug supply business. It turned out that Quaile had actually been under surveillance by undercover police officers for some months in the hotel. The police officers had seen a range of people dressed very differently to the usual rough clientele of the hotel, arriving, spending a short time with Quaile, and leaving without having a drink. Eventually, one of the police officers also purchased drugs from Quaile. Now, the charge related only to a couple of weeks' worth of activity, but in order to prove trafficking, prosecutors also wanted to introduce evidence of the earlier drug sales, even though there were no charges in relation to those. The defence objected, and so the Court of Criminal Appeal had to consider what was meant by trafficking and what sort of evidence could be introduced to prove it. All of the judges found that the evidence of the earlier drug sales was admissible, but Justice Ambrose went even further in his explanation. He found that even a single supply of the drug could count as trafficking if the purpose of the supply was to engage essentially in business activity. He said, "In determining whether an act is to be regarded merely as an isolated act or as an act done in the course of carrying on business, it is essential to look at the intention of the actor at the time of his act. If the act is done with the intent that it is merely one, even the first, of an intended series of acts, done or intended to be done with a view to making a financial gain, either for the actor or for somebody else, then the act will be part of the carrying on of a business." That being the case, police didn't strictly have to prove those earlier offences, but by doing so, no doubt they made it much easier for the jury to agree that Quaile was trafficking. From this case, we learn that the business intention of the defendant is what turns supply into trafficking.